Hey, what's up? It's Symphony here. Subscribe to my brother Mr. Creepy as Hell channel, and when you're watching his videos, make sure you stay in one piece.
I was driving in the middle of nowhere. I've been on the road for about 12 hours straight. I was only able to survive off of water, and that was it. I haven't eaten anything in the last 12 to 16 hours. I haven't seen a restaurant in sight, but I was beginning to get really hungry, but I tried to toughen up and not think about my stomach growling. An hour had passed, and my stomach still kept growling. That's when I came across a restaurant. It was kind of strange because it didn't show up on the GPS. As I got closer, I saw the name of the restaurant. It was called Austin's Buffet. And when I rolled my window down, I could smell the gourmet of food, such as shrimps and sausages and many other things. I thought maybe my mind was playing a trick on me because I was very hungry. But no, the restaurant was there. It was legit. There were several other cars in the lot, so I figured this had to be a legitimate restaurant. I pulled inside the driveway and I found a parking spot. I got out and I made my way over there. The restaurant was a bit run down. The windows were a slight bit dirty and the A in Austin kind of leaned a little bit to the side. But other than that, when I went inside, the restaurant was nice and clean. The floor was sleek and clean. The tables were a bright blue, polished and waxed, so shiny that you could see your reflection off of it. It was a really nice restaurant, so far. Then there was a buffet line. It had everything: macaroni, chicken, sausages, shrimps, catfish, just to name a few. I found a table and I sat down. I waited for someone to take my order or to give me anything to drink, but there was no one. I was about to leave, figuring that maybe the place was closed, but then I saw the back door of the kitchen opened, and a heavy-set guy who had on a chef's hat, a white apron, and a shirt that barely covered up his big belly. He walked it towards me. "Hello, good sir. Can I start you off with something to drink?" "Yes, if I can have a Diet Coke, that would be wonderful." "Sure thing. I'll be right back." "Oh, and by the way, my name is Hayden. I'll be your server for tonight. So you let me know if there's anything else you need," Hayden said as he walked into the back to get my drink. As I sat there and waited, I noticed something that kind of struck me. There were several other cars outside. Maybe one of them was Hayden's, but there were more cars out there. If I had to guess, I said there was about 6 cars out there. I looked around the restaurant, but I was the only customer in this establishment. There was no one else around. I thought that was kind of odd. Not only that, but I noticed that I didn't see any other workers in this restaurant. This guy seemed to be the only one that was working here tonight. I nearly dropped my phone as the screaming startled me. I got up from my table and I was about to go over to the back to ask if everything was alright, but then Hayden came out quickly with my drink, and he had his hands up, I guess gesturing me that everything was alright. "Oh, don't worry, sir. Don't be alarmed. It's just one of our workers. She saw a rat outside and it scared her. She ran back in. Nothing you have to worry about. Sorry if that scared you." "Oh, okay. I thought someone was being murdered back there." I half joked it with Hayden. After he went in the back, I went up and started grabbing my food at the buffet while thinking about the scream. Even though he said that the woman screamed because she saw a rat, something was off about that scream. It felt more blood-curdling than a simple scream from seeing a rodent. But I decided to just knock it off and just get something to eat because I was really hungry, and I was too hungry to think about what that scream could have been about. About 30 minutes later, after stuffing my face with a lot of food, I felt full to the point I could not eat nothing for the next week, but I felt really satisfied and I felt like my energy was up. I looked for Hayden because I wanted to get the bill so I can leave and get back on the road. I called out for him. "Excuse me, Hayden? Are you anywhere? I'm ready for the bill." Nothing. I did not get a reply. So I got up from my table and went over there to the counter and I ringed on the bell. Still, there was no reply. He didn't even come out once. I started to wonder what was going on and why was he not responding. I went to the double doors in the back that led to the kitchen. There were 2 little windows that I could look into to see if I could see Hayden anywhere, but it was dark. So I knocked on that door to try to get his attention, but still, there was no response. I didn't even hear footsteps. That's when I decided to go in the kitchen in the back to see if I could try to look for him. I know I wasn't supposed to, but I really need to get back on the road and I wanted to get the check so I can pay him and leave. As I walked around the kitchen, I noticed that I smelled something that smelled like rotting meat. It was really strong, with the mix of musk odor as well. I tried to hold my nose because I just had a good meal and I wasn't looking forward to losing my appetite and losing my lunch or dinner. As I walked around, I called out for Hayden again. Hayden? I know I'm not supposed to be back here, but I really would like the bill so I can leave. As I was looking around for Hayden, I heard a noise. It sounded like a woman crying. And then I also heard some splattering on the floor. I looked and I realized it was coming from the storage room area. The door was slightly ajar and the light was on. And that's when I heard a woman saying something, but I couldn't really make out what she was saying. Her voice sounded like it was muffled. Then I heard Hayden giggling, like he was getting some amusement out of whatever was going on inside that stockroom. I slowly opened up the door, and I looked at Hayden and looked at the woman that was tied up. She looked at me, her eyes wide open, like she was in shock to see me. And to be honest with you, she should. See, I didn't tell you the whole entire story. See, the reason why I was driving 12 hours was because I wanted to make my ex-wife pay for what she done. Not only did she cheat on me, she sat up there and took everything that I worked for. I was a man, a very wealthy man who had $20 billion in assets. I was worth about $20 billion. And she took everything, and took me to the cleaners. I had nothing left. I was broke. Only thing I had was the car and the clothes on my back. And so, when I came into this restaurant, that's when I saw that woman tied up. And that woman was my ex-wife. As for Hayden, I hired him off of the deep web. There's an organization where you can hire assassins. They usually don't tell you who they hire. You don't find out until you meet them. And so, when I found out that I was going to get Hayden, I looked at some of the things he's done, and I liked his resume of things that he has done and committed, and I knew he would be perfect for the job. Hayden looked at me, and he asked me, I just got the call from the organization. I didn't know it was you. I didn't know this was your restaurant. Well, let's get down to business. What do you want to do with her? Want me to let you kill her? I got the gun and everything. Of course, give me the gun. I'm gonna make sure to teach her a valuable lesson. Oh, wait, before I do anything, you have all the paperwork, right? Of her signing everything back to me? I sure do. Here they are. Perfect. I love it. I guess everything that you took from me is back in my possession. Now, I have no more use for you. Hayden gives me the gun out of his pocket. I fixed the gun up to make sure it was ready to load, and I aimed it at my ex-wife.